Good morning, this is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV. Time now for the Mayor's Report, and with us this morning is Mayor Michael Beamish. Good morning.
The mayor is here, and a little bird tells me that one Clint Myers, yours truly, of course, has celebrated a happy birthday.
Another year gone by.
But I'll tell you, it's been a good year.
It has been a good year.
You really have done a lot of great things and helped our community a lot by promoting our events and activities. And so I want to be one of probably the last ones to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Boy, I'll tell you what, the downtown, talking about things shaping up, is looking beautiful with the flowers, and it was all planted just in time for my birthday.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I think this is your birthday gift. You got the beautiful site where your studio is, looking downtown, and boy, it just really looks beautiful. And we're getting ready for that Troy Strawberry Festival, and I'm looking at the fountain, and I'm seeing how that's going to come alive in a strawberry red for opening ceremonies. And
that's right. Next Friday, or
that's
this
right.
Upcoming Friday.
I think we're going to do Friday night activities. A lot of it is going to be over at the levee. I think Saturday morning we're going to have a special opening ceremonies here in downtown. So the whole ambiance of that Friday, Saturday, Sunday down in Troy, Ohio is going to be wonderful. And there will be a lot of activities Friday night towards the levee, including the annual alumni flag football game. Between Piqua and Troy, and
always draws a big crowd.
It's a fun thing. Yours truly gets the opportunity to announce that game. I like doing that. And so there'll be a lot of things going on, even starting on Friday, but when it really kicks off is the opening ceremonies on Saturday, and from there it just blossoms. And I'll tell you, but the downtown look is a great way for people to come into our community on this. Actually, last weekend we have a lot of folks here with the food truck rally
and Strawberry Festival soccer tournament.
I mean, we had an awful lot of folks come in. I've had some very positive comments on emails to me saying they loved our city, it was beautiful, and everybody was accommodating. So those are the kind of qualities and the comments you want to hear about your community.
Absolutely. Hats off to our city workers, the Parks Department, and who all was involved, because I know they were down here early getting all the flowers out and everything set up. That was last week in anticipation for not only summer, but all these folks coming into town with the Strawberry Festival.
Well, Clint, volunteers is what makes a community.
Oh, yeah.
And that's people getting involved. And certainly this past weekend, we had a lot of folks from our community involved in the soccer tournament. That's not an easy task, and the Pappases head that up, but they have a huge committee that makes that possible. Downtown, our Parks Department, our Street Department, our Beautification Committee, all those folks, they work hard. This time of year is a big buildup for the Strawberry Festival and all the activities that go after the Strawberry Festival throughout the summer and fall. It's just a wonderful time to be a Trojan in Troy and throughout Miami County, and as we've often talked about throughout this region, they like to come to our small Midwestern town to see what's going on.
Well, it is, just like we always say, beautiful, historic downtown Troy. It's beautiful year-round, but when we get the splash of color with the flowers and everything's done up, it's like the cherry on top of the whipped cream.
And then we get to honor a birthday.
Yeah. Yours. You had a special council meeting on Monday this week. Tell us about that.
Well, it's unique. It is a special meeting. It's called, and of course we have to go through all the protocols to call a special meeting of Troy City Council. But it was due to really one particular item that had a timeline attached to it, knowing that we had to have that done prior to our next full council meeting, regular council meeting on June 6th. So we had a special meeting We did have a number of items that we took care of. Prior to that special meeting, we also had a subcommittee meeting, which put those two additional items on the agenda, and we've talked about them before. One was dealing, two of them with rezoning, and
Okay.
one of them was going from a business district to an R5 single resident district, which is basically what it's been. So we just had to make the rezoning to comply. And then the other one was an area on Grant and Lincoln. There's kind of like a point there, and it was always a light industrial area. We have a developer who's interested in taking one of those buildings, reutilizing the unused building, and making an office residential district. And
Okay.
so that went on. Both had approval of the Troy Planning Commission, moved on. So they met earlier to make sure that that was able to be on the agenda for the special meeting. That wasn't the actual reason for a special meeting. It was just added to the agenda. So the special meeting really, to be honest with you, dealt with, I hate to mention this, but we were looking at the ODOT salt purchase for next year. Now, I say that
we're just getting out of the cold
That's
weather,
right.
but you got to look ahead to get the good prices.
Yep. So we have to look at the winter season down the road, and ODOT we participate with ODOT, Ohio Department of Transportation, with a cooperative package agreement with other jurisdictions in our area. Now, to do that and to make sure we put our bids in for what we think we will need in terms of salt, along with the other communities, it had a deadline of it to be May 26th, right before Memorial Day. So that was our deadline. Well, since we don't have a regular council meeting until June 6th, we had to have a special meeting, an emergency piece of legislation, so that the council could say, okay, we want to be a part of the purchasing agreement with ODOT for salt for the next winter season. And so we have done that. Of course, we had 8 members of council present out of the 9. That was good, and they passed that 8 to nothing on the vote. The other ordinances that we had, 2 of which we've already discussed, those were rezoning issues. We'd already had public hearing in May 16th meeting. Subcommittee met prior, and they moved forward. No negative comments were made, so they passed both zonings 8-0 vote. Then we had 2 dedications of right-of-ways, areas that we want to make sure that there's a right-of-way buffer there. And one was on Union Street, one was on East Staunton Road, and again, those are pretty basic, and they also were put on the agenda and passed 8-0 as well. So we did have a special meeting on Monday. It really wasn't even at 7 o'clock. Normal regular meetings we have at 7 o'clock, but because we had to have our council members present and some of them had other obligations, it was at a later time, 7:45. So we can do that with notification to the public media.
Okay.
And with special meeting privileges that the president of council can call, which was done. So our next meeting, regular meeting, normally on the 1st and 3rd, would be June 6th, which will be a first Monday at 7 o'clock at City Hall.
And as always, folks, it's open to the public. People are
yes.
welcome to come over and see how that all comes together. And if you can't make it out and you're at home, Time Warner Cable, or I was going to say Time Warner Cable subscribers, no, online from troyohio.gov.
That's true.
You can watch it right online. So everyone has it.
So everybody has the opportunity to keep track of what's going on in their community. We've already talked about some of the positive things that were going on. I should mention on a special meeting, we only deal with what is on the agenda. There is
nothing else brought up.
That's right. And public, we don't, the mayor doesn't say what's going on. It's just basically what that special meeting agenda calls for.
Well, and that's part of the transparency
That's
as
right.
well.
That's right.
And like you say, it's all there for everyone to see. You are there to come join in, and or you can tune in and watch it.
Absolutely, Clint.
All right. You say you're on target. Everything is going on schedule for Treasure Island opening.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Yes, I'll clarify that. However, things are looking good. Now, I want to mention to everybody, we are going to have a dedication ceremony. It'll be on June the 12th, 3 to 5. 3 o'clock being our official dedicated, where we dedicate the lighthouse with that has been granted to us by the Troy Foundation. So we're going to have a special dedication ceremony along with dedicating the new refurbished Treasure Island Park. I will say that the Smith's Boathouse Restaurant is still under development. The marina building itself is pretty well complete, but inside the Smiths have a business plan. They have certain things they would like to see.
Well, they're going to turn it into their restaurant now.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything that was done to it is just absolutely made it gorgeous inside.
So when people come down for the dedication, they may not be able to go and take a view of the inside of the restaurant. It's kind of top secret right now, but I know the Smiths. It's going to be first class. It's going to be well worth the wait. But on the outside, they have partnered with the Adventures on the Great Miami, Chris Jackson. He will be available, and they will have canoes and kayaks available if people want to enjoy family time on the river as part of their dedication. We can do that. We'll be showcasing our new shelter house, our amphitheater. Our restrooms will be open. Our walkways will be there. So people can just kind of take a leisurely stroll. Even from downtown, they can take that levee walk on the recreational trail to Treasure Island. But we're on schedule for a June 12th kickoff. Kathy McIntosh has promised that she will be there for our national anthem and maybe a little peppy couple of tunes. And Rum River Blend, one of our local professional
They do such a great job.
Everybody knows them. They feel honored to be a part of this. They will also be a part of that 3 to 5 time, playing some of their familiar tunes. So it's a good opportunity, again, weather permitting. If the weather is bad, we're going to go. With the dedication, we'll just move to the shelter house. Luckily, we have a shelter house.
And that's why.
So it should be good. So we'll have activities down there on that day, and from that kicks off all the activities that will be taking place on Treasure Island Park throughout this summer session, and as well as on Proudly Plaza. They really have dovetailed together to provide a lot of activity, a lot of events, a lot of concert, free entertainment for people of all ages, which is something that's very dear to me, is all ages have something to do in Troy, Ohio, USA.
Absolutely. And again, it is such a short walk from downtown on the levee to get over to Treasure Island that you could eat downtown, you could be at an event downtown, and walk over and get in a canoe, or walk over and have dinner at the Smith's Boathouse.
Well,
it's just easy back and forth.
It should be great, and that's all part of our riverfront development plan, bringing the downtown with the Great Miami River to our park system.
Well, I will say, if anyone's really nosy and wants to get a peek inside the marina, we had the chance. David and I went over with you a week or so ago and got to see inside the marina, and there's some film footage, so
sure,
they could get that sneak peek.
They could get a sneak peek and see how much open it is.
Oh, yeah.
And then just imagine, this is where you can get your creative juices, what the Smiths are planning for that boathouse restaurant that they're going to implement. It'll probably be open sometime after July, so it's going to take some time, but they want to do it right, and I'm very happy to have them as part of our whole riverfront development project.
I think it's going to be great.
Thank you.
I feel I'm really into the Treasure Island, being down there, and as this is all taking part, I can see the vision that the city has for it.
And it's a good foot page for us to continue to move and use the river to our advantage. It's a treasure in Troy. I want to thank David Denoyer too. We've been talking about your birthday and everything, but David's always there with you, and the footage was wonderful. It gives everybody an idea of how this thing can keep developing and the vision keeps moving forward.
All right. Now, we're back to June 6th, like you said, is
Right.
the next council meeting.
That's it. That'll be our next. It seems so far away, but really, when you think about it, we're at graduation time for the high school seniors.
Yeah, tonight is graduation.
That's right, and then we have the Troy Strawberry Festival, and then we come up June 6th.
Wow, it's just sneaking up all on us real fast.
And then all the events and activities that go from downtown down the river and the whole river corridor that offers something for everybody.
All right, so if folks want to check out the footage of the marina and Treasure Island as we were going into before the grand opening, it was about a week ago, they can see that on TCT On Demand. All right, Mayor, anything else you'd like to add in this morning?
I just want to thank everybody for listening and certainly showing their civic pride that is citywide.
All right. This has been the Mayor's Report with Mayor Michael Beamish. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David DeNoyer on TCTV.